Hey there. Today I'm reviewing the Function XV Fansproject M.A.D.L.A.W. M.A.D.L.A.W is the third-party unlicensed transforming robot of Generation 1 Quickswitch, not to be confused with Quick Strike, although I think a Quick Strike remold of this would actually be pretty awesome. Anyway, packaging's pretty decent. Shows you every mode, or part of every mode anyway. This kind of nifty thing, and it's actually see-through, so the box is what gives you the color. I don't know if they save money on that or whatever, but I really like this. No babies. Okay, so M.A.D.L.A.W himself is right here. Had to find all of his parts. So the toy itself, really decent, awesome articulation. He comes with a couple of accessories. There's two of each of these. Not gonna dig around for him at the moment. This is just his basic gun, which telescopes in here. They don't tell you it does that. Every picture shows this and doesn't even show that it pops out. Looks way more intimidating this way. This gun fits right here. This gun, which is shown in one little part, which I think is a little 11th hour edition. It's kind of a G1-y version of what he's got. This is the only spot that I can find that it fits easily, is in his hands. Every other part of this guy, the gun is very, very tight, or it doesn't fit at all, or it'll stick out like that far when you actually do anything with it. Found his other gun. Alright. This gun can collapse that way and snap on right here, so you can holster it. It is actually a really neat little gimmick. Wasn't quite expecting it. I have Hexatron. Hexatron is here's the other one. Hexatron is Fansproject's version of Six-Shot, which if I get some posts on here, I might do a review of that as well. Actually have him right here. A little more accessible than... He's taller. He did cost more. His transformations are a little more in depth. I mean, M.A.D.L.A.W has just molded hands, where Hexatron actually has individual fingers and thumbs that move around, so you can get a lot cooler stuff out of him. Instead of just a basic, he's got a sheath here for his sword and stuff where this just snaps on. I think there was like $35 difference between the two toys, him costing more, of course. But he's definitely a better toy, which is surprising, being that this is a Fansproject toy. Fansproject was essentially the first third party to make Transformer toys that weren't officially licensed, so kind of surprises me. But he's still a good toy, definitely worth the money, especially if you want a Quickswitch in your family of Transformer toys. So I'm going to take these off. I'm going to attempt to go through all of his modes. Hexatron was a little bit to get used to transforming. This guy, his transformations aren't as subtle as you'd think, being that he looks a lot simpler. It's got some very detailed instructions. First thing I'll tell you too, I have these like this. That's what I like to call his flight mode. This isn't how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be like this. This folded in and back. But I don't like how just the profile doesn't look right. So I adjusted that. I do that often with the third-party toys especially, because for some reason Hasbro tends to think through their stuff a little more than third parties do when it comes to playability. Of course, there are some third parties that do the complete opposite and make a great looking beast all around. So first I'll start out with his beast mode, because it's the weakest of all the modes in my opinion. It's not a bad beast mode compared to some other official and unofficial ones. It's just, it leaves a lot to lot to be requested here. All right. So pop this in here. Oh, one thing I will tell you too is that in his head mode, you can pop up the visor. So I believe that's how he did it in the other series when he was 6th Knight. A little more. That stays there. Transformation, as I said, is not as easy as you'd expect it to be, or as simple as he looks. The colors, I think, is what throws you off the most. You see this guy and you think it's a G1 toy. It is not. This is anything but G1. Never had the original Quickswitch, but it was one of the ones that I always wanted. I don't know why. He's pretty flamboyant looking, but it was always like he was the good guy version of Six Shot. I think one of my cousins had Six Shot. I can't remember. Anyway, I always thought that toy was, I want a good guy version of that. So I'll flip this over here. One of the limitations. This is as far as you can't get any wider of a stance for the beast feet. He kind of looks kind of derpy. But I suppose if one of the modes is going to be derpy, I'd rather it be this one than one of the other modes, because the other modes are so close to each other in looks that if you had any problems with them, it would be pretty bad. I believe I twist this. And I apologize if I have to do a couple things on here. I haven't transformed him too many times. Okay, so now I get to get into this. This piece here is useless. It does nothing aside from be a gun in this mode. It kind of hinders everything. I don't like it. If this part would flap up so that I could twist this all the way through and spin it around and make it a gun, every other mode would be so much better. I'm probably going to modify this. I don't usually modify third-party stuff because it's not as easy to find later, but it's a grievous error in my opinion. Especially, there's another thing, the drill. It's everywhere. Every mode you're going to see this drill. I wish that it would have removed or became like this guy's, like a piece to the end of this guy's tail. The Woodrunner mode, the W in Madlaw. Kind of a cheap little robot here. Suppose you could pop those out. But there he is. Here's your Woodrunner. He's got a face only a mudda could love. Weird little four-eyed monster beast. Now I know that they wanted to get this so that he didn't mix in with a lot of the other modes, but they could have made that look a little better. These are supposed to... There's another part they don't tell you, is that mine came like this, and I couldn't get them on. These are supposed to fit right here. Yeah, and click it in there. And that's fine. Yet again, these do nothing. Suppose you could put them on here or something. Wish that they'd snapped in here a little better or something, anything. As I said, they seem like a last minute addition. I mean, they're either loose or they're too tight. These things are supposed to be like cannons in this mode. The only time that you actually see these, every other time they're stuck somewhere else. Whatever. I'm going to flip it over. They tell you to do it in a different order, but I found that this is the easiest order to do this in. Is to flip this there. It's another one of the... It's actually one of my favorite modes. Is the laser shot, the L in Madlaw. For this reason. I think I'm doing that right. Yeah. All right. Click it there. These, yet again, this is a gun mode. where these guns don't do anything. They shoot you when you're shooting, I guess. And these do nothing yet again. I think I'm going to try to weasel their way in here or something. Possibly fit something else. I'll figure a place to put these, because I mean, you could do this. Just a little cooler. Make it almost a... Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that from now on. It's not an official transformation by any means, but it's an unofficial toy, so whatever. And then these two, pop that out. Always got to pop that out. Slides in there. And that slides right in there. So here's his scope, a little further down than it should be in a normal gun. But like, why? This looks perfectly fine. This actually looks pretty cool like that. For it not to be officially like that, it's kind of weird. Anyway, there's his trigger. Trigger's a nice addition. I like the trigger. Was not expected. It actually comes out of the chest piece. So now another thing that you can look at too is this looks almost like a little cockpit. So I might try to figure out if I can find a little guy to put in there or something. But that's a pretty decent mode, the laser shot. So that's going to be the part one of this review. I'm going to start right over after this because I'm about to hit the limit for the YouTube. So I'll see you in a second.